Welcome back, everybody. Another record-breaking performance last week for the Wolverines. Broke what? I think three, four records were broke last week.
Yep.
I know one of them was the first time Michigan's ever scored 50 and plus in the first three games of the season. Um, I think. And then 100, another big one, which is awesome for the team. At least 115 people have seen the field this year. Uh, I mean, that's again, it's got to be some type of record. Got to be.
Yep.
And then Corum tying the rushing touchdown record, and then there was one more. Oh, the seven quarterbacks completed a pass, and 8 quarterbacks seen the field. Which
Yep.
to me that's just absurd. I was looking on ESPN yesterday, like just to see who was out there, and like the one kid who didn't complete a pass, the ESPN didn't even know his name. It just said the team, and then like it said something, and it made me laugh. I was like, "Well, that's kind of shitty." That dude's probably like, "Oh, this is bullshit." But I mean, all in all, it was an overall great game. Um, we'll start on the offensive side. I mean, JJ JJ pretty much played another damn near perfect game. I mean, you can't really complain with what he did. What 15 for 18, 214 yards, no touchdowns, but I mean, we ran the ball good too all game.
We did.
I mean, as quarterbacks overall, we were 21 for 26 for 273. So even the starters were completing passes, whatever it took. But what did you think about the offense in the game? What are some of your thoughts on it? I got a few more. But.
As we talked about before, it's really hard to gauge with the level of competition. I think all these teams have been in the bottom 10 or 15. So we've done what we're supposed to do. Like you said, JJ, 15 for 18, 214 yards, no passing touchdowns. Right? Did get sacked once, but half a play, or half a game. And I really thought that he kind of took a little. I don't know. I guess it's not fair to say he took a step back because he was damn near perfect first game, and statistic wise, still looks pretty good, right? But I thought that he maybe looked a little bit too comfortable and was trying to do a little too much. But I think that again, that probably reflects more the opponent than the scheme and him. It's going to be kind of interesting to see who comes in behind him today because haven't seen any specifics about Cade other than
he's out for a while, and they did say that Harbaugh did come out and say Davis Warren was going to be his backup.
Oh, did he? I missed that. So yeah, sounds like Cade's going to be gone for 3 or 4 weeks, anyways. There were some rumors of a broken leg on Twitter I seen, but 3 or 4 weeks doesn't support that. He'd be out longer than that if that was the case.
Well, and he played another play after that. I mean, unless it was a hairline fracture or something like that.
Yeah, it could be a fracture or something.
It happened on that sack nothing's going right for that man right now.
No.
Nothing from the side of football is going.
Because he's out there working just as hard as anybody else, and
he's not a bad quarterback.
No, the talent level is just different, and you can't coach and you can't work yourself up to that caliber unless your name's Tom Brady. So I think there's a lot of parallels. I'm sure I've said this before between Cade and Tom Brady, and now with the Brady Henson, Cade McNamara or Cade JJ thing. We're seeing a little more. The biggest difference is that JJ has clearly separated himself at this point. Where Henson was a lot more athletic, but my memory serves me correctly. There wasn't a whole lot of separation other than, he would take a play and make it a little more exciting. Where Brady was just Mr. Steady back in college. So we'll see what happens. But I think if Cage sticks around, he's probably got a decent shot at a pro career. And JJ looks like at the moment, and they're a long way to go, right? Because he's got to play at least one more season. He right now he looks like he's got the potential to be an all-pro quarterback. So we'll see. But yeah, I thought the offense was fine. Corum, right about his stat line for the season. He's I think he had 71 yards, 12 carries, averaging 6 yards a carry. He's pushing I think 8 for the season if I remember right.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, no, so 6.9, and he's averaging 78.3. So, big week touchdown wise, right? Got 7 for the year now. Had five last week, and I really thought that. What's that?
I read with the Corum thing. I think I read he has now 13 September touchdowns in his career.
Right?
13 or 14, yeah. And, I mean, really, that's only 2 seasons. That's last season and this season. I mean, he was on the team 3 seasons ago, but he wasn't seeing any significant time then. But yeah, he is 13. I think he read 13. I think Scott Bell said something like that on Twitter. 13 rushing touchdowns in the past, whatever, or total touchdowns, not just rushing. I'm sorry. But I mean, yeah, he tied the record, tying Hassan from last year and Ron Johnson in 68.
Yep. And I kind of thought Harbaugh might give him a shot to get another one, but he didn't. And I mean, that's fine too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think there's always. I mean, he's a good. He's not good. He's a great running back. I mean, I know we haven't seen explosive numbers right off the bat, but that's because I don't think we're showing everything we have. I mean, I know we aren't showing everything we have.
Right.
I think you're gonna. I think you're gonna see us open it up some more today. And I think you're about to go into maybe like the receivers, so I won't go too far into that yet.
Yeah, well, the reality of it is Blake Corum's really played a game and a half of football this year. You know what I mean? Hasn't been out there. He's got 34 attempts, and I'm not sure. I would almost bet that Haskins had that in a game last year, and over the years, I know there's been.
I think Haskins had like almost damn near 40 against Ohio State. So
yeah, and that's kind of my point is he's there's been backs regularly. I would guess at least once a season in Michigan history that have had more than 34 carries in a game. I know Biaka Patuka had it. I know Perry had it. I know Hart had it.
Yeah.
What's your little trash running back that you love so much? I can't even think of his name. He's so irrelevant.
Yeah, you can. You're just being a
no. Honestly, I can't remember it.
Karan Higdon.
Oh, Higdon, yeah. Higdon. He was a workhorse. He was just garbage. He probably did have it too.
Yeah, 1,000 rushing yard season was not garbage.
He was a garbage,
especially with that team. But
so offensively too, another orgy in the end zone, right? I'm looking forward to a few more years of that. It's kind of funny. It's interesting that they named Davis Warren because he walk-on kid, right? And yeah. I'm guessing that the only reason he's had Orgies look better than him, and not that he's looked bad again.
Orgies looks better on the ground. He reminds me of like a Cam Newton style quarterback who doesn't really throw the ball that consistently, like straight. I mean, Davis Warren, in my opinion, he's got a great arm, especially for being a walk-on. But yeah, I think that's where the difference comes in. I think that's probably what you're about to say. But
Yeah, and I think Harbaugh that you can't Alex Orji. There's going to be a big jump in competition, right? Even if we do continue to beat people out. I mean, Orji's got a 142 rating for the year. Warren Davis got a 148. Davis 3 for 6. Orji's 1 for 1. So we'll see. Davis has got 70 yards. Orji's got 5. On and on and on. But
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe he doesn't have. He likely doesn't have a full grasp of the system yet. And Warren is a sophomore, I believe, so he's got another year in the system and understand it. So it'll be going. You see you see the messages over to the right there.
Oh God.
Heck, if you're still listening, man, I feel sorry for you moving to that sorry ass state of Ohio. But in case you get lost, just keep going north till you smell it. And once you step in it, you'll know you're home.
It's a old
Fuck
Big
Ohio.
Ten champions country, buddy. Fuck Ohio. Zach, I'm not even gonna comment on that. Screw the SEC.
So that's Brittany's.
It's
sister's boyfriend, or
fiance.
Yeah. Go Tigers, Brian Kelly. Hey y'all, how you doing today? Fake ass accent and a fake ass coach. Have fun with him.
But all right, where were we? I hope Aaron comments back. I want to.
Yeah, me too.
Actually, you know what? I'm not surprised that he's awake right now. I'm gonna text him and see. Hey, you got access to a laptop. I'm gonna send you a request when you do picks. Get your ass on here, boy. No, we did. Anyways, I don't remember where we were at.
And we were talking about offense. I was talking about Warren Davis and Orji. And a little bit interesting that Harbaugh went with him, but I'm sure, like we were saying, sophomore, got another year in the system, and it's got a little more confidence in him at the moment, which makes sense, right? Neither quarterback's done anything significant, but they have gotten some significant playing time so far this year. They probably won't play that much till the Ohio State game again. So, I think we'll be on mop out duty by halftime at the Toilet Bowl in Colombo.
Oh yeah, yeah. Say, so one big thing to me. I'm sorry, that kind of just got me off my focus there. I mean, the receiving core, even though we didn't have, I think we had one passing touchdown throughout the game on Saturday. I think it was like a 20-yard to a running back or something like that. I mean, Ronnie Bell seems to finally shaken the rust off completely. I mean, that first game, you just see him kind of build up. I mean, he had 7 receptions for 96 yards. I mean, 5 of our receivers were over 20 yards receiving that game. So, I mean, it's not like we didn't throw the ball. It just, when we got down low, we were handing the ball off, powering the football to the end zone, which isn't – never will complain about. I mean, points is points, and that's how we got to get it done. That's how we got to get it done. I had one more. I mean, Ronnie Bell, I think, had 96. Roman Wilson had 64. What was the other one? And I think the rest all had like 30 to 20 yards. So I'm still gonna say this. I mean, I think we have probably the deepest wide receiver core in the nation. When I say deepest, I mean people who can come in, be ready to play, know the system, gonna run good routes, gonna get open at some point. I think we have 5, 6, maybe 7 guys that can do that.
Yeah, for sure. That's one thing I'd like to see today, and for as feisty as Maryland can be, I want to say their secondaries like 126th in FBS.
Oh yeah, their defense isn't that good.
Yeah. I'd really like to see Andrew get involved in Cornelius more a little bit, and I think by design, because their secondary is such no nice way to put it, trash, that we'll get a chance to air it out a little bit. But Andrell, Harbaugh's praising his work ethic and his blocking. So it sounds like he's doing the work, and maybe it's a thing of chemistry with the quarterback. But I'd really like to see him get involved, and I'd like to see Blake get over 100 today.
Oh yeah, I definitely think we see Blake hit over 100, and I think we see hitting or not. What I was going to say with Anthony is that's one thing I have. Like every time I went back and watched the game, afterwards, I had seen him in the game, but it's usually in blocking situations.
Yep.
He's usually running, whether it's usually on an outside run, whether it's an end around or just a pitch or whatever it comes down to. It's usually him in blocking. So I mean, he's doing, like you said, he's doing the work, doing what he needs to do.
Yeah.
But at this point, they know where they want him and where he needs. Which Harbaugh knows where he wants him, where he wants to use him.
Yep.
Might as well let him run this block. Since this has already been 16 minutes, I just realized that. Offensive player of the game before we move on to defense real quick for the UConn game. Who was your offensive player of the game?
It's got to go to Blake, I guess, right? 5 touchdowns, tying a Michigan record. 12 carries, 6 yards a carry, 71 yards. Yeah. I mean, it's one of the things that's made this tough, right? And I know we've kind of beat this to death, but the level of competition, we're not seeing guys for very long. But yeah, got to be Blake in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, we're playing a lesser opponent. I mean, like you said, today's going to be different.
Yeah.
Might not be what we ain't playing Ohio State. We ain't playing Penn State, Michigan State. It's still a lower opponent, and I think we should win by 20, at least 21 plus, at least. But yeah, I picked Blake too. I don't think there's really no one else you can. The 5 touchdowns easily gives them that.
Right. And I mean, I guess you could make an argument for Ronnie Bell, 7 receptions, 96 yards, but no touchdowns versus 5 touchdowns just kind of makes it a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. The defensive side, we'll go over this real quick. Just there's not much. I mean, we played a good game, obviously, a shutout. Off that shutout, though, I do want to point this out. I'm not sure. I didn't look at I think it's us and James Madison were the only team this season to, at least so far this season, to hold their opponents to no points in the first half of football games.
Yes.
We outscored our opponents 103-0 in the first half, and all season we've outscored them 166-17. I mean, again, lesser opponents, but still, I mean, those are still impressive numbers. I mean, they're still college football players, still Division I football players, whether they're lesser or not. I mean, being able to hold them to 17 points, I mean, which is what we should do. I'm not saying
right.
I mean, the defense, it was kind of we had a lot of guys get in. We had 110 total yards. They think we gave up to UConn. I think they only had 20 some passing yards. I accidentally exited out of the stat line.
Looks that
24 passing yards. Yeah, 24 passing. So I'm not even going to try to do the math, even though it's super easy math. I'm just not going to make myself look dumb.
110 total.
Yeah, 100. I knew it was 110 total. I was just thinking how many. So it's at 80 or 8, no, 96. Yeah, I made myself look dumb. No, I still made myself look dumb.
Yeah,
I'm just
you
gonna,
sure did.
I'm just gonna shut up. Not a lot of rushing yards either. I mean, not a lot of yards allowed. Period. I mean, we forced a turnover. Um, should have probably had 2 more. They dropped the ball again. I think then Bakari Page dropped the interception off a ricochet. I do have my big question for you is: are we seeing? Dude, I know again, lesser opponent. Say it a lot. Is Mikey Sanders still legit?
You know,
I'm on that side of the ball.
what I think so. I like his technique's good, good speed, and he hasn't made a ton of plays, but he is. Don't get me wrong, he's made his fair share, but that kid is always around the play. I mean,
Oh yeah,
you see his jersey, but like you said, and we've beat it to death. The first 3 weeks, lesser opponent. They're getting a half or so of gameplay. Hard to tell. I don't think they're going to get super tested until probably the Penn State game and maybe not even till the Ohio State game. Ohio State is off the top of my head probably the only team in the country that has a better receiver core than us, and that's my one big takeaway from last year's game. And I know they lost with that one kid went pro, but their wide receiver core is fucking impressive. They lost 2 of them.
Garrett Wilson and Olave. I mean, it is. I mean, they with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Smith Najigma.
Yeah.
I mean, their wide receiver core is good, anyways. I hate to say it. I mean, fuck Ohio, but I mean, Brian Hartline, hell of a fucking coach.
Yep.
I mean, the way he produces receivers left and right, great receivers at that. I mean, nothing you can do about it except shut him down. I mean, long as I'm gonna go too far into a rabbit hole, go and talk about the Michigan Ohio State game, but I if Wisconsin can slow them, I'll go off a little bit. If Wisconsin slows them down tonight, if they slow them down tonight on the receiving end, they should be able to win. I think. Yep. But again, I'll talk about that in a little bit later in the show. Sorry, I know I cut you off again.
Yeah, you're good. So their receivers, and you're right, their defense still appears to be a little suspect. But I wouldn't be shocked if Wisconsin pulls off the upset today.
Yeah, me either. Like I said, it's the night game. I mean, they got a night game to black out. I mean, it's a tough environment to go into.
Yep.
But I mean, that's tough game either way. I mean, the West is not good either, and who knows? I mean, Wisconsin got upset at home, but got beat by Washington State. So, talk real quick. Keys to the Maryland game. Defensive keys. This is at least what I have.
So how about your defensive player of the game for last week against Connecticut?
Oh, thank you. Completely forgot. I have Junior Colson again.
Yep, me too.
I mean, he's all around been playing good. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you got me thinking about too much stuff.
Make an argument for Jermon Green. I think he had a pick, and if I remember right, could have had 2 more. But yeah, Junior Colston been rock solid. Led the team in tackles last week, 2 tackles for loss. So now we can go on to Maryland if you'd like.
Yeah, sorry, forgot about that. I got me thinking about too much stuff at once, and I'm also thinking about other stuff. I just need to focus. So they beat Buffalo, Charlotte, and SMU. I mean, they haven't really blown anybody out. I mean, they have, but they haven't. SMU was a close game. I mean, keys for me, at least. So the defensive keys today is it's going to be a test for our DBs. Maryland's averaging 310 yards passing a game. Main key to me is get to Talia. If you can get to Talia and hit him and get hits in quick, he's going to want to get that ball out quick. He's going to start making mistakes. Um, that's my biggest defensive key is make him pay for wanting to pass the football. Whether you hit him as he's letting go of the football, he might complete a few of those, or whether you're getting sacks, making him lose yardage, make him pay for passing the football. Make him not want to throw the football.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely one of the biggest keys in my opinion.
Yeah, we got to get some pressure today, right? And I think the last two games, first game 7 sacks, got a lot of pressure. The last two games, I think we've had 1 sack combined in the last 2 games, if I remember right. So haven't got the pressure, but as you said, teams are focusing on getting the ball out early and fast. And I think defensively, part of it is that one, you don't want to show your complete hand in your scheme, even though the scheme is very, very similar to last year's. But two, it just wasn't necessary. So why wear you guys out and do the thing? But we need to get him. We need to get some pressure on. I always want to call him Tua, but
Talia Tagovailoa.
Also we got to keep contain on him. That to me will be the biggest sign of progress in our defense. Is if we can limit and minimize the big plays, the broken plays, where especially third down has seemed to be in our Achilles heel for a really long time. You got a 3rd and 12, and we let a mobile quarterback break for 15 on us. On a busted play. How many times have we seen a guy hit the quarterback on 3rd and long or get a hand on his jersey and then break away and turn it into something, touchdown, first down, whatever. So I like to see that. And, on the offensive side, like I said earlier, like to see Corum get 100 yards and like to see Andrell and Cornelius get a little more involved.
Yeah. I mean, on the offensive side, you're like you said, just going to be do your job. I mean, you're averaging 400 yards a game.
Yep.
Let's see. I think, like I said earlier in the podcast, I think we open up the playbook more.
Yep.
A lot more. I think we're going to see more shots downfield more than anything. So, and I'm excited for that. I want to see JJ air the ball out more.
Well, I mean, what's the sense of having a quarterback with a cannon for an arm and guided missile accuracy if you're not going to use it, right? And then we think it looks like we got a lot of horses in the stable that just want to run, right? I'd like to see us take a shot first play. We've taken a couple shots. Second play of opening series. Second game we got a touchdown out of it, right? And last week there I don't remember how big it was, but I want to say it was 30-40 yard play where second thing of the series. So I'd like to see him come out and take some shots, and I think we will.
Oh yeah, me too. Like I said, do your job, get to Talia. Those are my 2 keys. I got them at 40, winning at 45-17. I think it might be close in the first half. They might be able to keep it close to us. I'm going to say I think Henning has either punt return or kickoff for a touchdown again today.
Yep.
That'll be my aggressive. Hey, I'm going to say this is going to happen. Just to say, hey, damn. Like this will happen for sure. I think he's doing it. I mean, I know he just had a punt return last week, but I think he does it again. I mean, Maryland's not gonna run. I think we have 3 or 4 rushers. Holy crap, 3 or 4 touchdowns, like kickoffs or punts returns against Maryland in the past 4 or 5 years. So it's pretty much normal. I mean, Giles Jackson returned one back in 2018, 19. And then
Yep.
Henning had that throwback last year at
Yep.
Maryland, and then on the kickoff, and that. So I mean, so I think it's 45-17. Henning at least takes one back to the house today upon forward kickoff.
So I was going to go 48-21, but my buddy Alex put that out there. So I'll go a little bit different. I'll go 49-17. Actually, I checked that. I'm going to go 52-17. I think, our second string guys get a lot of playing time, most if not all of the fourth quarter. Starters will be out there for 3, but I think the game will be well in hand by halftime. And I'd like to see JJ go for over 300 yards, 100 yards a quarter.
Yeah. No, yeah, that'd be phenomenal. 404 touchdowns. I'll take it.
Yep.
We'll see what happens at that. That kickoff's at noon your time. Now that we've seen 3 games, move on. I mean, we've seen what the Big Ten at least looks like, not against each other. I mean, we have seen a few teams play each other in the Big Ten.
Yep.
Let's give out some final predictions here. I'll let you go first. I just have listed teams. I don't have rank records or anything. I just put a list 1-7 in each division. I'll let you go first. Unless you want me to go first, that's not a big deal.
So we're ranking them top to bottom.
Yeah, East and West division.
Where we think they're going to finish.
Yeah. Now that we've seen them play, I know we did a Big Ten prediction right before the season started.
Yeah.
But I figured since now we're getting into the heart of Big Ten play, we could do it again. And now that we've seen some people play, see how people have reacted this season, because, I mean, there's definitely some surprises.
Yeah, so, okay, I'll start with the West, or otherwise known as the trash division in the Big Ten. I think Minnesota's going to win it. I think Wisconsin will be behind them. Oh boy, Iowa would be third, and then Northwestern I'll go fourth. Purdue, Illinois, and then the Scott Frostless Nebraskans. I just don't see them turning anything around.
No, not at all.
And they're 0-3. I did see something funny on Twitter yesterday. Somebody placed a bet on Nebraska making the college football playoff. And the odds, I forget what the odds are. They're astronomical. But the guy, the guy put, they already got 3 losses, right? It's not going to happen. But the guy put $10 on it, and if he wins, he would win $1 billion. And I thought,
Christ,
I thought, shit, that might be worth just throwing $10 down on, because
yeah,
shit happens, But I thought that was funny. They'd have to run the table, and a million other things that have to go wrong for a lot of teams, and a million other things that have to go right for them. But I mean, $10 had a shot of $1 billion. Why not? So
might as well throw it out there.
Yeah. So and in the East, a little bit tougher. I'm gonna go just because I'm a homeboy, right? I'll go Michigan first. Ohio State. Penn State, probably Michigan State's next, Maryland, Indiana, Rutgers.
Yeah, the East. So the East is pretty much the same for me. I have Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State, Maryland, but I flipped. I put Rutgers 6th and Indiana 7th. I think Rutgers having a decent season. I know they started out 3-0 again.
They are, and Shiano's back, and he was a solid coach when he was there the first time around. They were halfway respectable.
Yeah, and like I said, I think they'll They could even finish in front of Maryland. It wouldn't surprise me. We have in the West, Minnesota winning it. I think whatever his dumb name is, can't think of their coach right now.
Fleck.
Finally gets over. Yeah, I think Fleck finally gets over the hump there. At least in the West, but who knows? They could lose 3 games and still win that division.
Yep.
Minnesota, Wisconsin. I have Purdue kind of being a sleeper. I know they've kind of lost. They've lost, I think, one Big Ten game already. They lost to Penn State, and they kept it close with Penn State.
They did.
And I think Purdue could be a sleeper, and I think that's why I think I put them at number 3. I have Iowa at 4. Their offense just ain't there. I don't think they have a shot to make it. Their offense is just bad. They're great defense, but offense is bad. And in the West, I guess the defense is where it's at. If you actually look at, then I have Illinois, Northwestern, and Nebraska. Minnesota, Michigan playing the Big Ten championship, and I think Michigan takes it. Michigan goes 13-0, 10-0.
Yeah, Iowa, rock solid defense, right? But 7 points the first game, 7 points the second game, and then they put up 27 against national powerhouse Nevada. So the offense isn't there. The first 2 games, I believe that the defense outscored the offense. So not a lot there, but I agree with you about Purdue. They're 1-2 right now. But I do think they have the potential to be a sleeper for sure.
Yeah. Yep. And all right. Well, let's hop into game predictions today. There's a few good games on. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. To pick out of. I'll start right away. Number 5, Clemson.
So real quick before you get started, are we going against the spread or are we just going all natural?
Just all natural pick. Just straight up pick who you think's going to win.
Okay.
Record wise, doesn't matter. I think it's just easier that way.
Yep, absolutely.
So first game, number 5 Clemson at number 21 Wake Forest. Who you got?
Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson. I got Wake Forest in a close one. Wake Forest playing good. I don't think Clemson's offense is there at all.
So that was primarily why I asked you if we were going against the spread or straight up, because I do think Wake Forest covers it. 7.5 point spread, if I remember right. And I agree with you there. I do think it's going to be a close game, but straight up, I think Clemson pulls it out.
Okay. Next one, number 17 Baylor at Iowa State. Iowa State is when they play at home, it's a danger zone for ranked teams.
Yep.
Who you got?
I'm rolling with Iowa State on that one.
I agree completely. Like I said, I think they pull off an upset. And they usually pull off an upset about once a year.
Yep.
Next one, 2 basketball schools that are killing it right now so far this season. Duke versus Kansas. Kind of why I threw it in there. Not really seeing it. I have Kansas winning it. I don't really know anything about either of these teams. It's kind of just, hey, throw it out there.
Yeah, it's the same thing. They're both start off 3-0, but I think Kansas is set up a little bit better, and I'm rolling with Kansas too at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. Big game of the day, college game day there. Number 20 Florida versus number 11 Tennessee. You going with Gator Chomp or Rocky Top?
Rocky Top.
I'm going with Gator Chomp. I think Tennessee's just a little bit overrated this year.
And for the record, you are keeping track of these, right? So we know who won what. Yes, sir. All right.
So those are all Texas. My picks. I'm writing down your picks down here.
Okay. Sounds good. Texas Tech versus Texas.
I got Texas Tech. I think with Quinn Ewers being out, I could see Texas Tech pulling an upset. I think it's too difficult for Texas to have a good offense, a great offense. I think
he really didn't want you anyways, Heck. He was just being polite because he misses his little friend's gone, moved away, betrayed him.
I miss you. So yeah, I got Texas Tech by Texas Tech straight up.
All right. Yeah, I got Texas on that one. I think
You got
Texas
Texas.
legit, even though they've lost Ewers. I think they got enough to get by Texas Tech today.
Yeah. Next one, Notre Dame versus UNC. I think UNC just murders them. I'm sorry, and I think Freeman gets fired after. Lou
So
Holtz is losing his shit about all this.
Mac Brown's still at UNC, right?
Yes.
Yeah. My gut tells me to pick UNC, but I don't think they'll fire Freeman if he loses, but I think they should. And
I think they do. Lou Holtz is losing his shit over this.
If he loses this game, he should be fired. And if he loses, that shows to me 1,000,000% that he doesn't have this team and never has. I think their backs against the wall, and this is a must win for him. So I'm gonna roll with Notre Dame on it, but I do think it's gonna be a close game.
Yeah, I think North Carolina wins by at least 2 scores. I
wouldn't be surprised. And full disclosure, I'm purposely going a little bit opposite of you just so I can pad my lead. I'd like to start next week with like a 9-1 record.
Okay. Don't try to make that excuse that you're purposely going against me just so when I whoop your ass it doesn't right. You have an excuse. You're already putting that excuse out there.
So 25 years, right? You've beat me at anything one time. That was NBA 2K, and you had fucking cheat codes. You had the Campus cheat codes in.
Not true.
And you've never beat me in Madden. You've never beat me in NCAA. You can't even beat me in a foot race. I'm missing half my right leg.
You shoved me into a fucking camper. When I was 12 years old, you pushed me into a camper and made me face plant into it. What a good father that is. Just so you didn't lose.
We didn't get a camper till you were 14, so.
Okay, whatever. I don't remember. No. Right. I will call bullshit on that, but I will talk about that later.
We got the camper in 2012. Do the math.
I'll talk about that later. Never mind. Yeah, hang on a second. I was a freshman. Yeah, never mind. Yeah. When something happened. Yeah. Anyways.
Minnesota.
Back to the picks. Minnesota. I think Minnesota wins. I think Michigan State's secondary is trash.
Yep.
Just like they always are. Mel Tucker's going to cuss himself out again after this in front of the media. Minnesota by 10.
I'm with you on that one. Minnesota.
You picked Notre Dame last pick, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Minnesota. Number 10, Arkansas at number 23, Texas A&M.
I'm going with A&M on that one.
I have A&M too. I think Arkansas is a good team. I just don't know if they can go on the road and pull it off. Arkansas. Well, you took A&M. Never mind. I did this one for the wife. Louisiana, Raging Cajuns. Oh, shit. You can't say that on here.
Oh, I just did.
That's so bad.
I did this because my wife told me to.
No, she didn't tell me to. I just did it because we went to school here.
It's your story. You go ahead.
Didn't. I did it because she went to school here. Louisiana, right. Raging Cajuns versus University of Louisiana Monroe. It is a rivalry down here. I have Louisiana. Louisiana's just I've watched them play before I even met her. Thank you. So
call me whatever you want. I know nothing about
the Cajuns. Cajuns are a better team.
I'm going to go with Louisiana Monroe just because.
Just because. Yeah, just because magically. All right. The game of the night game, the night capper. Wisconsin at number 3, Ohio State. Blackout in Ohio is a night game. Who you got?
That's at Ohio, right?
It is at, yep.
Yeah, they're not losing that game. I got Ohio State.
I'm the same way. I think if Wisconsin would have to hold them to about 200 yards passing and try to win that game. I think it'll be a close game, but I think Ohio State wins it. I mean, it's a blackout. They're wearing all black. Night game. Yeah, Ohio State probably by about 10, probably. But hopefully, I hate to say it, but Aaron, y'all are gonna win this weekend. But don't worry, y'all are gonna lose on November 26th when we come to the shoe and
Right,
whoop
right.
that ass.
It's just gonna make the crash on November 26th that much harder. You're gonna get these false hopes built up and just get
Just the
white.
same false hopes I've had for the past 20 years, Aaron. Um, but anyways, we got our picks. Keep up with the numbers next week. Update everybody. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Go blue as always. Get off, watch some game day, and enjoy the football Saturday.
Yes, sir. Hail.